Okay, I'm just working my way around. Now, one of the things that I like to do here in the back, because of the occipital bone, we want to make sure, I see a lot of haircuts where they take this part really short, and then of course they take the neckline really short, and then they create this type of shape, where because this is short, and the occipital bone is here, it sticks out, they've got a shape that when you look at it from a profile, it's kind of pointy here in the back. I like the appearance when we kind of camouflage and hide the occipital bone, meaning that I don't want to take this short. I want this to stay longer. And then if this is longer and this is shorter, usually it can camouflage the occipital bone. Now, some people have a flatter occipital bone, other people have really prominent occipital bones, so it's going to be up to you to decide how long you should leave this up here. So, having said that, as I get to this back section, right where the occipital bone starts to come out of the head, I'm going to be very conscientious of leaving the hair up here longer. And the way I do that is I actually over-direct it further away. So not basically where my fingers are touching the scalp like I had just mentioned. We'll do that down here. But up here in this section, just to make sure it's not shorter than the occipital bone, I'm going to over-direct the hair further away. The reason you over-direct further away is if this hair has to travel further away, it's going to be longer, right? The further hair has to travel, so let's assume this is one strand of hair. If I was to pull it straight out of the head and cut it right there with my fingers, it would be basically this short. However, if I pulled this hair and I over-directed it all the way over here and then cut here, well then when this hair falls, it's actually going to be as long as this comb, for instance, right? So the further you over-direct hair, the longer you're going to leave it. Now, this hair is obviously shorter than the comb, so I can only over-direct it about an inch, it's about to here, a half an inch or so. So as I pull this hair back, you could see my hands slightly start to shift that way. That's just because I'm starting to over-direct the hair that way so that I leave it a little longer. Remember, obviously, we can always take hair shorter if we want to later, but it's difficult to do it the other way around. If you cut it off, it's difficult to make it longer again. So we're going to have to wait, obviously, for it to grow out. So to eliminate that, I'm going to leave it longer and then cut it in phases if necessary. The more prominent the occipital bone, the more you're going to want to cut this section in phases. Cut it, leave it longer. Maybe it's too long, cut it a little bit more. Take a peek how it looks. If it's still too long, cut it a little more, a little more, a little more. There's nothing wrong with continually taking it down to the right length versus just whacking it off and then saying later, oh shoot, I should have left that a little longer.